this? I mean, the guy's clearly on steroids and got popped for it.
Yeah. Well, they're trying to do something about it. Coincidentally, just a couple of days ago, I had U.S. ADA inspectors show up at my door at 7 a.m. And, stay there here to collect a urine sample for steroids. So they're trying to make a difference. They're testing guys out of competition, and that's ultimately, like how you're going to catch guys is because they're only dumb guys are going to cheat on fight night. It's fight camp and after the fight where you're going to guys going to be using performance enhancing drugs.
Very smart, and it's very good to see them kind of going in that direction. Do you think that the UFC is so much invested in like the USADA doing stuff like that and them doing the testing, or do you think that's kind of like maybe a mask? It's like, oh yeah, we're interested in it because there's no real punishment to these guys except for from the the committees and stuff like that.
When it came out that they're going to be doing this out of competition testing, they talked about all these strict penalties that guys are going to be receiving, lifetime bans, 5-year bans. I think still the longest duration of time that somebody has been suspended is 1 year. This, I don't want to sound like I'm whining, but this is a different sport than baseball. This isn't Mark McGwire, Sammy Sosa, competing to see who can hit more balls over a wall. This is dudes trying to knock each other out or choke each other unconscious. The severity of the penalty has to be different. It has to be more serious. And, hopefully we'll continue to go down this road of seeing a clean sport, but we're nowhere near where we should be.
Definitely not. I feel like more guys pop up each day, and get caught with something. And I hate to put the umbrella or kind of, because I know it's a lot of different guys from a lot of different countries, especially the U.S., but it seems like more than not, most of the Brazilians, I don't know if they think they can get away with it or not, but it seems like basically 90% of the Brazilian fighters have got caught at one point or another. Anderson Silva, Vitor Belfort, if you saw Jose Aldo, looks like half the guy he used to be. I mean, you think it's an epidemic in Brazil that these guys, even all the Gracies have gotten caught at one point or another. You think it's kind of an epidemic that these Brazilian fighters just think they can kind of just, skirt the rules a bit and get away with this?
Yes. I think it is a cultural thing. It's an access thing. They're so readily available in South America that you can walk into like the equivalent of a CVS and get an anabolic steroid. And I go to South America often, and I'm telling you firsthand, like you can seriously, like I've watched guys walk in and say, hey, I need to get some, insert anabolic steroid, and it's handed to them over counter. And then there are particular fight camps here in the United States that lend themselves to cheaters. American top team and Brazilian top team, and the Black Zillions. Regardless, I don't want to offend anybody, but they have more people testing hot than any other teams out there. By any other teams, I mean all of the other teams combined. You go to Jackson's, a.k.a. The Arizona, Ryan Bader. You can take all of the TriStar, you can take all of the other super gyms, combine the number of guys that have tested positive, and they don't equal one of the other schools like the Black Zillions or American Top Team. And coincidentally, there are way more Brazilians that train at both of them. So, yeah, there is a problem both in the culture, the Brazilian culture and their approach to fighting, and then also at specific gyms.
Without a doubt, and it's funny because I don't know if they realize it. It's pretty obvious, like a guy like Vitor Belfort. Okay, he looks flabby, he looks whatever, and then all of a sudden, he's knocking out Dan Henderson, but he looks like the Incredible Hulk, and it's just funny. It's like Is anybody going to test this guy or realize that he's definitely on something? And then you even look at Anderson Silva, whose kind of whole career was tarnished now that he got caught and had to sit out a year. But the guy, Anderson Silva, has been kind of on your radar, or maybe not anymore, but you still thinking about a possible fight against Anderson Silva?
Dude, I've been begging and pleading for a fight against Anderson Silva. I mean, one, it's an easy payday. He's he may have been the greatest ever. That went away the moment he tested positive for steroids. Had he broken his leg in his Chris Weidman fight and he just went quietly into the night, I would say that he is one of the best ever. Now he's just another cheater. Now he's just another Vitor Belfort. Now he's just another Brazilian that I want to knock out. And both Silva and Belfort would be super easy fights on the sauce or off the sauce. But now the way that we're being tested, it is difficult to be able to cheat, and so that makes it a really, really easy fight.